This episode of the Gold Blooded Podcast is brought to you by mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. Use promo code GOLDBLOOD, one word, to match up to 100% of your initial deposit.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
Think we're done? We're just getting started.
Young almost falls down, throws to the end zone.
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that, okay? But I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change, and it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in a gun with Gore in his left hip. 3rd down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown, 40. Vernon Davis with the play of his life. It all comes to this 4th down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up by Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
You motherfuckers, here we are. So much weird shit is going on right now. I'm in a fucking other country. The 49ers won a game. Who won the prediction game? I'm pretty sure that was me, right?
Joe and Curran win, so it's a combined win.
Fuck, no, nobody wins. Fuck that. Nah, we ain't pushing nothing. That's a loss.
That's a tie where I come from.
A tie is a loss in my eyes. I don't give a fuck, It's not a W. Damn, that motherfucker. I thought I had that all counted out. I thought I had that. Fuck. All right, well, nevertheless, so I'm in the Virgin Islands via Skype, FaceTime, however you want to say this. The boys are in Connecticut at Stevens, and we got a lot to get going on here, Steve. You were talking about all the positive plays that went down, but I guess you probably want to start with the negatives first.
Of course, and just to be set, the last time that we tried to do this, we lost your connection a few times, which we were able to get through. And we made it all the way to the end of the episode, and the laptop crashed, and we weren't able to release an episode.
Oh, really?
You don't remember that on your honeymoon? We made it through
Steve,
the whole episode with you, but...
Steve, I vaguely remember my honeymoon. You know what I mean? And you want me to remember a footnote of it? Come on.
Fair point.
Out of here. Okay, well, that sucks, because I thought that was a good episode with me in a distance,
All right.
It's a conspiracy.
Yep.
Always.
I'll get started. Pierre Garçon did play this week, dealing with the knee injury. Kwaski Tart did not play this past week, dealing with the shoulder injury. Reuben Foster did not play, dealing with the hamstring injury. Anton Exum, no.
Really?
Nope, he was inactive.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
I'd be surprised if we even see him in like the next 2 or 3 games.
Well, we got the Giants.
Foster.
We got the Giants then a bye, so
yeah.
Yeah, they're not anybody questionable is not coming back this week. Not against the shitty Giants going into a bye.
He's just not blue chip.
Anton Exum did not play. He had the concussion in the previous game. It was a short week. Trent Taylor was a healthy scratch this week.
Yeah, he's done.
Richie James got the start over him.
Yeah. CJ Beathard did not play, obviously, but he was active as a backup, dealing with the wrist injury. And we activated safety Marcel Harris and linebacker Dakota Watson from injured reserve. And we promoted cornerback Emmanuel Mosley from the practice squad. We waived quarterback Tom Savage. We signed wide receiver Victor Bolden Jr. and defensive back Greg Maben. to the practice squad.
Those names sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Because we released them last week.
Yes. We released wide receiver Aaron Burbridge. Then there's Ronald Blair, who had to come out with a shoulder injury, but he returned to the game. George Kittle, who had to come out of the game with a chest contusion, but he returned to the game. Emmanuel Mosley, cornerback, dislocated shoulder, and Raheem Mostert with a broken arm. They are both sent to IR. And then after all that, we signed Tom Savage.
You knew that was coming.
So Mosley was promoted
Yep.
from the practice squad, played however long in this game, and dislocated his shoulder on IR now.
Yep.
What a fucking week.
Yo, he probably wins from that, though. Like, he's probably making more money.
Yeah.
He probably
Yeah,
wins
sure.
financially from that.
Yeah, but if he not got called up, he probably wouldn't have a separated shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, I wanted to just say, unless there's a storm here, I should not lose. I shouldn't have any problems.
Okay.
So I meant to tell you that before, and here we are, already in the game.
All right. So, getting into the game, you want to start, Joe? You watched it down there. How did you watch? Was it a pain in the ass to watch? What time was it?
It was the same time as it was where you were at
Okay.
that point. Our time didn't change, or our time never changed. When your time went back an hour, the time here never changes. So I watched it at the villa that we...
Oh, so on Thursday, we were on the same time, and now we're an hour separate.
Correct.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird. I watched it from my $1.5 million villa that I'm in, and it was not a problem. I turned the TV on, and I laid my fucking ass on the couch. I fucking smoked my pen and sniffed my drugs, and it was good.
They had NFL Network? It wasn't hard to find?
I watched it on Fox Puerto Rico.
Okay. Well, so it was Spanish? It was in Spanish?
No, the commercials were. That was it.
Okay.
And they had the same cock-sucking announcers that you guys had. Which was terrible. I'm pretty sure I turned that off and put music on as well, because that was fucking brutal, those guys.
I love Spanish commercials. I love Spanish commercials on the radio. I love when they get to, the name of the company, and it sounds like...
Chevrolet?
Yeah. And then goes right back to Spanish.
Yeah.
I love that.
Nokia Mobile.
Yeah. That was my favorite job site situation. You got AutoZone.
Yeah, speaking of which, when
Nick
my rent-a-car
Mullens.
broke down. So my rent-a-car broke down, and since we rented it on a different island, when we looked at the fine print, it was like, your car breaks down on a different island, fucking deal with it. So I was like, okay. And I found some West Indian dude who was like, he looked at me and he was like, I'll get it started. I was like, fuck, I don't know if you will, but I believe you with every bit of my heart. And then, so he had some tester, some shit I've never seen. I'm in that world, and I've never seen the tool this guy pulled out from underneath his seat in his car. He's like, your battery is dead. I'm like, the battery, it can't be the battery, dude. I'm like, it's got to be the starter or the alternator. He's like, it's the battery. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to buy one. He was like, get in my car. I'm like, ooh, okay. So he takes me down some sketchy down. I know this island, but I've never been down this road before. And there's a fucking car quest in the middle of nowhere where there's all West Indians purchasing items and 4 white dudes behind the counter. So it was pretty weird. And all the white dudes are looking at him and they're like, wait, you two are together? Okay. And at first they quoted me a tourist price, and then they quoted me his price. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I got the hookup, And I don't know what the point is. There was a point to that, but... Oh, regardless, it was a bunch of people speaking a language I didn't understand, the dudes asking the white dudes for parts, and then you would just hear, alternator, Chevy Silverado, or what, you know what I mean? So, all right. Giddy up. But you were saying about the positive plays, because I was going to say the only negatives that I could really take was the first drive from the Raiders, and I got the field goal. You know what I mean? I was like, well, here we go. First points on the first drive, nothing new.
Yeah.
But that was really it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. So just to start off the offense off the top, we had 405 total yards of offense, 262 passing, 143 rushing. We converted 2 of 4 in the red zone, possibly our best percentage all year. 5 of 12 on third down. We allowed 0 sacks and only 2 quarterback hits, and committed 0 turnovers. So.
Yeah, the 0 turnover. Who is that? You again, Steve?
No, that was me.
Between the two of you, that's 3 motherfucking weeks in a row we've had text messages go off. Don't think I'm not counting, motherfuckers.
I'm surprised he heard that.
Yeah, you see, yeah, I fucking hear it. It's not out of this side. It's not out of the mature side of this table. I'll tell you that. Rob, isn't it weird sitting over there?
I think he's got a good speaker for you to hear that all the way over there. I barely heard it.
That's impressive.
I have headphones in, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, I heard it, but barely until you pointed it out.
Like, I was just going to keep going, and then I'm like, wait a minute, is this happening again? Motherfuckers. All right, nevertheless.
So,
forging on through.
So far this season, we've looked great on opening drives a majority of the year. That seems to be a theme with us. Except, this was the one time that it was actually a precursor to how the game was going to go.
And we got into the red zone and actually scored.
Yes.
Before you go into the first drive, before you go into anything else, tell me your gut feeling when we came out on first down of the first drive with an empty backfield with a quarterback in his first NFL start.
I didn't even really put that together in my mind.
Oh my God. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's you always first quarterback, first start. It's always a handoff, 100% of the time, and that's Shanahan playing games right there.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as we came out with an empty backfield, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I didn't even really think of it that way.
Totally empty backfield. Not even like for protection. Like, give me something.
But I mean, it was just chunk plays all the way down the field. Breda and Mostert breaking off huge runs.
What a shame about Mostert, huh?
Yeah, he was playing really well.
Fuck.
Yeah, so 2 weeks in a row he played really well.
3 weeks.
Typical.
Going all the way back to the Green Bay game.
Yeah, it was the week before he fumbled.
Yeah. And then obviously he finishes off the drive. He finds Garcon wide open on a completely busted coverage for a 24-yard touchdown, and that was his first career NFL touchdown for Mullens. Pretty much walked in.
That was Garcon's first as a Niner, too.
At least this year.
No, that was his
first ever.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't have a single touchdown last year, and he hasn't had a touchdown in like 3 years.
I mean, he tries really hard, and that's cool, but like, fuck that.
I don't like to trash like NFL football players. Like, that's their life. They're obviously been doing it their whole life, and they only look bad because somebody else is better. Like, in reality, they're one of the best 50 in the world at what they do. But I'm pretty sure that any of us could have thrown that pass to Garcon.
Yes, 100%.
But there was definitely plays that Dirty Money Mullens made that none of us could have made. Like that one to Kittle when the deal was just collapsing around like the lineman. Like it was like a retarded screen pass.
Yes, yeah, the Kittle screen, that was nice.
But it was like it looked like a busted play. Like the line collapsed and he was like somebody was like in his face and he kind of like side-armed it around him. To me, it looked like I don't know what the fuck do I know.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, hey, Rob said it last week, and I'm pissed that I didn't say it first. But I mean, it's clear as fucking daylight that we're 9-7 making the wild card. You know what I mean? Well, behind Mullens.
You just slipped something past the audience who might not be privy to the fact that you have given Nick Mullens a nickname, which is what Rob gave you as an assignment.
I mean, it was the best I could come up with, and I think it fits, man.
Okay, well, repeat it. What is his nickname?
Dirty Money, Nick Dirty Money Mullens. I mean,
also known as Filthy Currency.
You like that, right?
I kind of like Dirty Dick Nick, but I'll take Dirty Money Nick.
Dirty Money Mullens.
We got to keep it classy, you know. If he wins this week, I want him to steal the Manziel
the Manziel money sign. I forgot about that.
That's right. That's what I'm hoping for.
I love that your answer is we got to keep it classy. Like fucking Garoppolo's nickname isn't Horsecock.
Well, hey, he might be a backup in next year, so his cock size might be dropping significantly. He might just be an average slinging dick. You know what I mean?
Getting down to the next drive where we got all the way down to the 5-yard line. It was a 3rd and 1, and Breda got wrapped up in the backfield, but with a second effort was able to get past the first down marker and converted. And we had a first and goal at the 3-yard line, which eventually set up a 4-yard touchdown slant on another atrocious coverage by Oakland to Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
I had spoken to you either right before or after that. It was, to me, it was blatantly obvious when Bourne came out of the huddle that he was getting the ball. He was walking like a man whose cock was hot. Like he was walking into a bedroom to fuck the prom queen. He was ready. He lined up and he just looked arrogant. The whole thing, go back and watch it. It was ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. I called it. I said, touchdown to Bourne. And sure as shit, touchdown to Bourne.
It's funny because, I mean, we don't think of him as even our second best or even third best wide receiver on the team, but yet he seems to be like the red zone guy. Like
3 red zone touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
Was he the one with the surf celebration too?
Yeah, he had some weird thing.
Right?
Something like that.
The surf celebration, I think that was for you, Joe, on vacation.
There's no surfing here, but he was definitely doing some. I thought he was doing like an Irish jig or something. I don't know what.
Oh, maybe was he not one of them? One of them laid on the ground and like he was paddling a board and then jumped up like he was surfing.
Oh,
I thought it was Bourne.
Yeah, I know he was doing a jig at one point.
Halfway through this game, I was kicking myself for not seeing this coming. Like when it was announced that we were starting Mullens, my gut feeling was that our chances of winning were less. When halfway through the game, I realized that I watched the entire preseason twice, and Nick Mullens looked better than C.J. Beathard in every single one of those preseason games.
And Jimmy Garoppolo, too.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay. Go back and watch him a third time.
Am I sensing a changing of the guard from Joe over here?
You had to know that was coming. We won the game.
Okay, so Mullens over Garoppolo next year?
I want to return my Garoppolo jersey and have them ship me a Mullens. But I don't want him to get hurt, so I'm going to hold off on that. I'm on board.
But he doesn't want to get him hurt.
If we get blown out next week, it'll be off the Mullens train. Like you don't realize what's going on here?
Yeah, come on. For now, I'm riding with dirty money. I'm putting all my money on dirty money.
Later in the game, he beats a 6-man blitz and finds Richie James on a quick slant, who was able to run for 52 yards. That was a big play.
Yeah.
That was a big play. Got down into the red zone, right?
Yep, and then Richie James continued that drive and dropped a ball in the red zone that very likely would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
At the very least, converted the first down. And I looked at the snap count. Richie James outsnapped Dante Pettis in this game on offense 23-11.
Why do you think? But that's something I feel like either A, he's not 100% yet, or B, that's kind of Shanahan. Like certain weeks, just the ball goes to certain guys. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I'm talking about snap counts.
Yeah, I think he's not at 100%.
You think that though, but then like you feel like he went down with a knee injury, but then you got him back there returning punts. Like the punt dude, that's not something that you want a guy with a bad knee doing.
That's true.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a fucking coach.
You can always take a fair catch. I mean, if you're concerned about it being caught and not fumbled, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I want to see Pettis get more snaps, but I mean, if he's not healthy, he's not on the injury report like at all.
Odd. I found the surf celebration. It was Mostert.
It was Mostert? Oh, yes, that's right, on the 52-yard run. We hadn't got to that. Yep.
I'll show you after Steve sees it.
Yeah, I do recall that.
I don't even want to see it. Don't even show me.
No way, it's great.
No, I know. I saw it. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
So while we're on that, this is one of the plays that I was able to, that I watched the coach's film, which is like a bird's eye view, and watching this 52-yard touchdown run develop was like watching Alabama play your local high school team. Like, there was just linemen taking out 2 or 3 guys at one time, and then you got Mike McGlinchey 50 yards downfield. Still, like the Raiders are just that play was the Raiders just being horrible.
It's hard to say the Raiders are the worst team in the league because the Bills are in the league, but they're both really fucking bad.
I would definitely put the Raiders at the worst right now. Like,
I think they both suck. This dude from the Bills threw 3 interceptions this week.
Oh,
and
I know.
His quarterback rating went up. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
Come on. That's crazy talk.
I guess he has three career touchdown passes, and he also has 3 career pick sixes. His pick sixes match his touchdowns.
Putting up points either way.
That's some Alex Smith shit.
He was never that bad.
Oh, yes, he was.
Well, interception to touchdown ratio, but pick sixes?
You did not watch Alex Smith. If you think Alex Smith was better than Peterman,
You were still
the first
in your underwear.
4 years he was a
your
quarterback.
Diapers.
Alex Smith was the worst quarterback in the fucking history of the 49ers
For like 4
for
years
4 to
straight.
5 years.
I know.
Like,
It took him
brutal.
until his 9th NFL season to flip that
Harbaugh.
touchdown, and that was only because Harbaugh showed up.
100% Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Changed him forever.
In this game, Mullens compiled the highest passer rating in an NFL debut for a quarterback with at least 16 pass attempts.
Yeah.
So, anything below that, your quarterback just didn't throw the ball at all.
He's a boss hog.
And as of right now, George Kittle leads the league in receiving yards at tight end.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, another fucking beat monster. Did he get a touchdown?
Yeah, I skimmed over that. He had the ridiculous one-arm catch and
One-arm
run,
grab, that's right. Yeah.
and then he finished that drive off with a playoff bootleg. He practically walked in.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, he was saying that Shanahan gave him that for getting the other one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was saying that coach gave him that.
But he just fucking talks, Bob. Like, what
Oh,
was
it's
that
great.
other thing? That I sent you guys today that I was like, I don't know what to believe here. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, something about Mullens telling Shanahan to stop talking because he's trying to call the play.
But then he doesn't realize the mics are only one way. Like,
Yes.
he can only hear, not talk.
Right.
No,
I don't know if it's real or not.
No, I heard Kittle today. He said that Mullens is so well prepared that he knows the play right away when Shanahan calls it out. And Shanahan kind of overdoes it to make sure that he knows the play. And he's like, all right, I got it. Like, enough. But he doesn't realize that Shanahan can't hear a word he's saying.
So, that's Mullens in the huddle trying to call the play out while Shanahan's still in his ear. Like, have you ever tried to talk into a microphone where you're getting yourself as an echo back? It's extremely distracting.
Like right now?
Is that what you're getting?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, so, I mean, great day for the offense and Nick Mullens going forward.
I mean, I'm fully on board, and this is something I want to tell you, Steve. If the playoffs started today, the Vikings, right, are currently the 6th seed at 5-3-1. I mean, that's catchable. I'm telling you, 9-7 is going to get us in.
Have you ever actually been diagnosed as bipolar?
Never.
That's amazing. Well, you are now officially. I'm a psychiatrist as of right now, and you are 100% bipolar.
Yo, listen. What we have 6 straight losses, 5 or 6 straight losses. I know I'm talking a little crazy. I get it, but
Well, first of all,
let me bask in this. Let me bask.
First of all, we're all basking in a victory, but I think it's safe to say that this victory was a Kyle Shanahan victory.
Yeah, I mean...
No matter how you slice it, because first of all, who the fuck is Nick Mullens without Kyle Shanahan? Nick Mullens is not a 49er without Kyle Shanahan.
No, absolutely not.
He's a guy that still has to make throws. You know what I mean? He made those throws.
Yeah, but he's not even in the league if Kyle Shanahan doesn't do his homework and draft and find him and seek him out and make him a 49er.
Yes.
Like, period. He's not even in the fucking league. And also, when Beathard started getting hurt and when Garoppolo went down, Shanahan's the one that decided that Mullens is the number 2 guy. We're not going to get a Tom Savage to play that part. Mullens is the guy to do that. That's all Shanahan. So, and we're doing it without a running back, without our starting running back. We lost Mostert in the game. That was late, though, right?
Yeah.
But
it was later on.
Fourth quarter.
This is a Kyle Shanahan victory. I mean, scheming those guys that open. And also, this is a fucking Oakland Raiders loss.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure, yeah. I mean, you could also put it on the defense, our defense, you know what I mean? They held the 3 points, whoever they are, as bad as that offense is. But
to anyone that's comparing Mullens to Garoppolo, like, Mullens had a great game. And for a first start as an NFL quarterback, phenomenal. Awesome. Maybe if he stays like that, great. I'll be just as happy if he beats Garoppolo. That means we've got an even better quarterback. I'm not going to be mad about that. But Garoppolo did it down the stretch against playoff defenses. Mullens did it against the fucking Raiders.
Yeah.
So let's just give it some time.
I hear you. But it's easy to see him ripping off 3 straight victories, right?
And Mullens did it with the same cast as Garoppolo, but they've all been doing it longer.
Right.
Like, they all had an off season in this system before Mullens got to them. And I certainly could see him winning this week. And, hey, if he gets better than Garoppolo, then I'm in. I'm all in. I'm not like Jimmy Garoppolo just because he's Jimmy Garoppolo.
I got to
like give me a reason to go with Mullens. That's a best case scenario.
Right.
I mean, imagine Mullens is the fucking answer. Now we've got all these quarterbacks as trade bait, as fucking draft bait. We got all kinds of shit going on.
You got to see Mullens get tested, and you got to see him be able to thread the needle in tight spaces. Not, throwing wide open touchdowns to Pierre Garçon and George Kittle is great. Me and you could do that, but you want to see him get tested. I don't think it's going to happen this week either.
Yeah, and I'm just fantasizing. I would love if that happened.
Right.
I don't think that's the case, but it'd be awesome.
So, sure, watching football is fun, especially when the 49ers just demolish the Oakland Raiders. But it's more exciting when you have some action on the games. Guys, you have heard me talking about this for weeks, and some of you are still on the sidelines.
Whether you're an expert or a rookie, you should be betting at MyBookie.
You bet, you play, you win, you get paid.
If you're the kind of guy that likes to bet what, Joe?
What is it, this trifecta?
If you like to bet little
cricket
and win
a lot.
There you go. Like playing the numbers on
a roulette wheel.
You can create a big parlay.
I'm saying trifecta, but it's a parlay.
Trifecta.
Pick 3 teams to win.
That's highlight, Steve. Sorry.
Pick 3 teams to win. If you win all 3, you could turn $100 into
$600.
Oh, that's a good memory right there. I wouldn't have got that one.
There is so much to bet on. College basketball and football, NBA, NHL, custom props, even esports, you name it.
What the fuck is esports?
What's esports?
No?
That's gaming. That's like betting on 2 guys playing like Tetris.
Esports.
Straight up, dog. Tetris. We gamble on Tetris now.
Wow. MyBookie is...
Listen, I love MyBookie, but they should maybe slow down with fucking gambling on Tetris and get their fucking, you know what I'm saying.
MyBookie is the one to bet. Is the one bet I know you'll be happy with all year.
All year. I'm going for 1 calendar year until the Tour Championship next year. I'm talking about.
Joe, I recommend these guys because I really, truly trust them. And MyBookie.
There's no other online gambling. I can speak straight honestly about this. There is no other online gambling, conglomerate that I would openly and actively give my debit card information to, and I did that. So, hats off to MyBookie.
How long have they been in business, Steve?
Years.
How are their online reviews?
Phenomenal. Great.
Raving.
How's their mobile site?
It is a breeze.
It even works down here. I check the lines down here. I'm in the fucking middle of nowhere. I can gamble on everything.
Sign up this week and MyBookie will give you a 50% deposit bonus to jumpstart your bankroll. It's a great way to bank even more money when you win. It was 100%, now it's 50%. You better sign up because that number is only going down.
Also, make sure to follow @BetMyBookie on Twitter. Yeah, because MyBookie on Twitter would be too easy. They personally respond to every mention and DM. Not to mention that they've given away more than $10,000 in free money to their followers this football season. You'll be the first to know as soon as new odds and props are posted.
Don't miss out on one of the week's best on the week's to bet on sports this year.
Without me there, huh?
What do you got, the sniffles over there?
No, I'm sniffing drugs.
You got the weekend sniffles?
It's been a long weekend.
The weekend sniffles is my favorite term.
Log on. Hold on, let me finish.
To do it openly? Just like literally, like right as we start. Sorry, Steve. I know you want to get this out.
Log on to MyBookie right now and use promo code
Gold Blood.
You remember that one? To get 50% deposit bonus. That's promo code
Gold Blood.
You play.
You win.
Get paid, doggy. Yo, so before we get into the defense, I mean, we all got to take our hats off. We got NFL honors this week, boys. Bradley Pinion, NFC Special Team Players of the Week, boys. Come on, we got something. We got the hardware going now.
B-Pins.
That's all I have to say.
All right, defense.
He's probably molesting children. I stand by that.
Off the top, 242 total yards allowed, 140 passing, 102 rushing. 0 for 1 in the red zone. We allowed only 3 of 12 third down conversions. We registered 8 sacks and 10 quarterback hits, and we committed 0 turnovers. Or not committed. We forced 0 turnovers.
Really? We didn't have one?
Nope, not a single turnover.
Wow. Is something going on I need to be privy to?
Early in the game, Buckner is able to split a double team and get home for a sack. Then, it's not much happened on the defense except for sacks, by the way. Just a precursor.
Just sacks.
Just sacks.
Just lots of them.
And then Marsh Bull rushes Oakland's backup right tackle directly in a car for a sack. Dakota Watson and Cassius Marsh sandwich car for a sack. Like, we can't even really talk about each of these, like, big plays in the game because there's fucking 8 of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's sexy. And can I give you something looking forward to next week? You know, Eli Manning's been sacked the most times in the NFL.
No shit.
31.
Wow.
Daddy's got stats.
I will say, though, that Oakland offensive line was in shambles. Like, they were just horrible. They had their left tackle out. They had their left guard playing left tackle. And I believe their right tackle also went out of the game. So they had one guard playing left tackle and their backup emergency tackle playing right tackle. Like, just a fucking mess. I mean, later in the game, Dakota Watson catches the emergency left tackle Osemele playing with poor balance, poor technique, and he easily just, like, shoves him out of the way. Like, Rob, how you shove your kids out of the way? Like, if they're in your way?
I don't shove my kids.
Well, not
Steve.
shove,
I don't think he abuses his children. I mean,
That's quite an implication, huh?
well, no.
holy shit.
That was-
You
that
could've
was-
said me and my wife would have been a way better example.
That was poorly worded. You know, like, you kind of, like, guide them with your hand to where you want them to go.
How about this, Steve? If you wanted to shove your children, how about if you were someone that shoved your children the way you would shove them?
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up.
If
Huh?
you didn't know how to use words and say excuse me and you just wanted to be a bully.
Yeah, I mean, I just treat my children like humans, but whatever you want to do.
That's pretty much what Dakota Watson did to the left
Make
tackle.
sure they don't go to the same school, Rob. Your kids are just kids.
Oh, you mean like with a bat? Like when I shove my children with a bat?
Yes.
Oh.
Exactly. Or a golf club.
Yeah, golf club.
I will say that I think that this was Fred Warner's best game as a pro. He was all over the place.
We don't nearly talk about him enough.
Fast Freddy.
He's been steady. He hasn't really been
Steady
bad
Freddy.
enough to talk about him. He hasn't really
Steady
been.
Freddy!
Yeah, he is steady Freddy.
That's way better than Fast Freddy.
That's way better than Steady Netney, too. It's so good.
Steady Freddy Warner.
Just back there making tackles. Is he still leading the team? Probably.
Yeah, I think he is.
For sure.
I will say the Raiders using a timeout on a 3rd and 22 when their play clock was running out was fucking amazing. Who calls a timeout right there?
Yeah, just hand the ball off and kick the ball away.
You're not converting that 3rd and 22. Just fucking take the delay of game.
Let's be for real. John Gruden is the most delusional human being in the NFL. No question. No question.
Or he's doing this all on purpose.
I mean, it's possible.
He's stocking draft picks, so to move up to the number 1 draft pick is not out of the question.
I mean, he kept the GM there for who knows what reason except to make him look bad this year. So that way he can hire his own GM next year.
I don't know, man. He's fucked. You know? Okay, so yeah, that's great. You have 5 first-round draft picks in the next 2 years. So then now you have a bunch of 22-year-old kids who have no idea what the NFL is. You know, like now you're just an old fuck who's not going to be able to connect with them like it's 20 years ago. Like
he's there for 10 years. He's got plenty of time.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Because the people who own that organization are completely reasonable as well. Oh, fuck out of here. They should all fucking die. Die in a Vegas fucking shooting. All of them. Too bad they weren't there a year ago.
Jeez.
Fuck the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Can I just say that the biggest play of the Raiders' offensive night came on a ball that was pretty much intercepted by Tyvis Powell, but yet it somehow goes through his hands and lifts the ball up perfectly to land ever so gently in Jalen Richard's arms, and he's able to run for 25 yards. I couldn't believe that.
They got lucky.
That was the luckiest tipped interception completion I've ever seen. And later in the game, they pulled Carr, brought in fucking what's his name, Bama Boy. fuck, what's his name?
McCarron,
AJ McCarron.
Yeah.
And
he got sacked once too.
Well, I don't know if it was a snack.
No,
yeah.
That as a sack.
Ronald Blair got a sack on him.
Carr and 1 to him.
Well, they attempted a quarterback sneak on 4th and 1, and they just completely got stonewalled by Buckner and Solomon. And like I said, Ronald Blair finishes out the night with a sack of his own. And I looked at the snap counts because Dakota Watson had he played 17 snaps, and in those 17 snaps, he registered 2 sacks and 4 hurries.
Wow, fresh legs.
So I don't know if this guy's going to make a case for himself. He's off to a fucking great start for next year.
How about that? Old Dakota, spelled really strangely.
And just getting to the specialty, there were so many things in this game that just were perfect. But the most perfect thing possibly was the Raiders' 45-yard field goal attempt, just clanking right off the uprights. I
didn't catch that.
They were. I think the score was already 31-3 at that point, and it was late in the third quarter, and they just were kicking a field goal, just an innocent 45-yard field goal, not trying to hurt nobody. Clank right off the uprights.
Just a heads up, it may be starting to storm here, but I don't know. If you lose me, you'll know about it. I'll call
Storm's
you back
coming.
when I get Wi-Fi. So, it's crazy because you could see them coming from miles away when you're looking out. So I can't tell you how many times this week I've said the storm's coming. All right, what else we got here?
Before we get to the Beast of the Week, I think that
I will definitely sing. So you just let me know.
I just want to say that Rob said it earlier. This is a Kyle Shanahan win, not only for what Mullens was able to do in this game and the offense was able to do in this game, but it was very clear that these were two same record teams where one team cared a hell of a lot more than the other team. And I think that directly reflects Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that this was a 1-7 team.
No, if you...
the way they were celebrating the good stuff and coaching on the sidelines, this was a team that looked like they were doing something.
They are. They're going to go 9-7 and make the playoffs. So with that said, it's that time again. It's the Beast of the Week.
I wish so badly that you were sharing that villa with a family that you just met or something.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Is there nobody around that can hear you?
Probably not.
Huh.
There's the house is a crazy layout. There's 2 floors, and her mom and her mom's friend are downstairs, and Jessica's in the room, in the living room. I'm in the bedroom, so I don't think anybody can hear me. I don't really care. I fucking tiptoed for fucking 6 days here, so you know what? Whatever happens in the next hour happens. Speaking my mind.
Lots of good options for Offensive Beast of the Week. I don't know how...
there's only one, Steve.
Yeah.
If anyone else was under center, I'd give it to Kittle.
Yeah.
If it was somebody that's been in the league for 5 games or 10 games or however many our most experienced quarterback has, which I think is Beathard at this point.
Yes, it is.
Which is still probably less than 10.
No, he's 1-9.
Yeah, so if it was him or Garoppolo, it would be Kittle. But because it was Mullens' first start, I got to give it to Mullens.
Yeah, he slinged that dirty dick all around that field, and he just he broke the will of the Raiders with his cock.
Wow.
That's right.
Dirty money gets it from me too.
All right, what about on the other side of the ball?
Defensive Beast of the Week.
Same thing. Cassius Marsh has been there all year, but the fact that it was Dakota Watson's first game off IR, I got to give it to him.
I agree. Dakota Watson, me too.
Fuck it. I'm going to agree with you because I can't see the stats. But no, that's dope. He had a sack and a half. Good for him.
And that about does it.
What's our time? Give me a number.
37 minutes.
Okay, I got a couple things. Here that you're going to like. I've done some reading this week. So I guess there's these guys, Kuiper and McShay. You know those guys?
Huh?
The draft.
Oh, the draft guys? Yeah.
Yeah. They claim that this pass rush draft is fucking stacked, loaded. So, you should consider that, when you say where we're going to get our edge rusher from. There's that. And also, I'm almost done with the Golden State Killer book that guy's wife wrote. Oh,
Patton Oswalt's wife?
Yeah. It's fucking crazy talk. The information in there makes fucking case file look amateur.
No shit.
It's deep. She's got, it's fucking deep. I should be done, this weekend, so I'll bring it as soon as I'm done, and then you guys can fight over it.
I still got your Steve Young book.
Well, then I guess Rob gets first dibs.
So
he wasn't going to get first dibs anyway, but...
If you would like to email us, you can email us at goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. You can leave us a review on the iTunes podcast app. 5 stars would be nice. And you could donate to us at patreon.com/goldbloodedpodcast. Donate as little as $1 a month or $1 billion a month.
That's right.
The Instagram is run by the 5th member of this podcast, Michael Curran. Check that out.
Hold on. Do you think we should punt off to him if he comes down for the field goal competition and as an initiation, we just lay the fuck out of him?
I forgot about that.
Instead of it being me,
I don't know. I feel weird, just going to tackle a dude I don't even know.
I don't. Not one bit. Maybe because I've had lunch with him. But
it was kind of a dud last year because of the field conditions.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to bring something way classier this year as far as fields go.
Cleats?
No. Yeah, make sure they wear cleats. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah, you're picking the field this year?
It's in the hood this year, bitches. Come to my fucking town.
He's telling everyone to wear cleats. He's going to send us to a turf field. I know.
It's actually paved.
Yeah.
That's right.
Prison yard. It's a prison yard field.
We're tackling on the cement. If you don't like it, then you can't participate.
Yeah, pussy.
All right, send us off, Joe. Cut it.
Fuck you. I'm happy.
Okay. That's it.
That's it. I got nothing. That's good. Oh, I am dripping